may see a lot of Nyland on the wing with Janney and Neely, and I think Craig Janney enjoys that.
Gives him a little extra muscle, perhaps. Opens things up a little. Nyland immediately draws the attention of a couple of Canadians. Robert's roughing him up in front of the bench. And the linesmen come in. Referee McCreary, 7 seconds into the game, the first touch of nastiness.
Jiggs, when the puck was dropped, Chris Nyland gave Roberts a facial. Roberts went back at Nyland over beside the bench. This Roberts, you'll see him cut back over to Nyland. See 32? He's trying to get back at Nyland after Nyland gave him the facial as soon as the puck was dropped. And he got a second facial right there. You'll see Poulin here having to look down to find the puck. Corson hits him cleanly, nails him at center ice. And then on the near side, Poulin is holding his man up. That's Schneider. And you'll see the stick through the legs. Schneider with a shove, pushing Poulin off balance twice in the first shift.
Another of the changes for the Bruins tonight. On Hoover, number 44, battling Corson as they go back to the net. Hoover ties up Corson. The puck is loose and now covered by Moog after quite a scramble, and bodies all over the place.
Jake's very interesting here. Real battles. This is one of the Montreal Canadiens' best lines on the ice. The Bruins had Galley, who hasn't played since game 1 because of an injury, and Hoover, who hasn't played in the series on the ice. He's picked up by Don Sweeney, and they battle. Sticks up, talking to one another, pushing, shoving. Don Sweeney not allowing Skrudland to get to the net. And Hoover moves in. You'll see Hoover react after a big hit from behind. You saw the left-hand rabbit punch, and he took the penalty. This will be the first power play of the game. Poulin and Schneider, neutral zone. Schneider's trying to hold up Poulin. Poulin, I don't think, was expecting to be bumped, and you can see how he got knocked down.
The play, got it in front, and Wass steers that aside. Janney centers, Neely shot, another save. 2 seconds left in the power play. Another scuffle after the whistle.
With both Bruin defensemen staying above the faceoff circles. And Dufresne giving Janney a shot. Another shot. Now Neely's trying to get at him. And I think the Bruins have to stand up for their centerman. And they are, as both defensemen have moved in. We have not had a fighting major in this series. Skrudland has a hold of 2 Bruins, Hodge and Janney. Now Janney's released. Janney took a couple of pops to the nose from the Montreal defenseman. Janney with a couple of great plays on the power play, Jigs. The latest, he set up Cam Neely and Patrick Roy. Terrific killing penalties here in the first period.
There is no score at the Boston Garden. Midway through the opening period, the jam up in front of the Bruins bench. And the puck finally frozen, and bodies go flying everywhere, and up come the sticks.
Autoline nailed Skriko, knocking him down. And then some of the Bruins stepped into Autoline. Now they're right at the bench, Jigs. McPhee's over there. Richet's lost his helmet. And the linesmen in this game are much more busy than what they have had to be in the previous 4 games with scrubs and such after the whistle. Chris Nyland, too, is in there without the helmet.
Here's the way this fracas got set.
And McPhee moved in. Nyland will be late moving in. And Autoline, you see him knocking down Petri Skriko, and they still haven't stopped. Chris Nyland has been belligerent every shift he's played so far here in the first period. And this is more Boston Bruins style of hockey that I think everybody wanted to see as far as Bruin fans go, and including Bruin management. A lot more intensity.
Lunch bucket hockey. The way they played all season, the way they won the Adams division. Finished 11 points ahead of the Canadiens.
The key in these situations for players that are offensive players is not to end up with a secondary pushing and shoving match, because if you do, you'll end up with a 10-minute misconduct or more, such as Skriko and Savard right now.
The linesmen are chasing Nyland and McPhee to the bench, and Skriko got involved. There's Duras intercepting the pass, coming right in on Waugh. Backhander, Patrick's got it. Burridge went looking for the rebound. There was none, and Skrudland goes looking for Burridge.
A terrible pass by Cote, the former Bruin, playing defense for Montreal now. A terrible pass up the middle, intercepted by Duras. Duras has been put into the... Their penalty killing has been excellent, and from that point, or even before, some belligerent work from this man who's having a conversation with the entire Montreal bench. Chris Nyland.
It's a conversation or a lecture.
Pat Burns puts his hands up and saying, hey, I didn't do anything. Nyland's playing Nyland hockey. This is what he's been noted for over the years. In the best shape of his entire career. Now he's explaining to McCreary, and McCreary's telling him enough. No inciting riots.
But I have a lot of friends in that bench, he's saying.
Watch him move up. Carbonneau moves in and follows through with a power crunch. The left arm was up, and he had his left arm up going into the boards to protect himself, and that may have jammed his left arm or shoulder. You see the arm not moving. This is regular speed, and you'll see the impact of the hit. Boom. See the left arm up to protect him.
Down the boards, and Waugh watches it come up the left wing side. Nyland passes into Schneider. Actually got more of the boards than he did the Montreal defenseman.
Watch this. Nyland's moving in. Boom. But he missed. Game to get those 4 goals. See how he rides Corson out ahead of Corson, not allowing Corson to move up ice. And in turn, what it does...
The shot that misses. Weimer pitches in off the board. Slam!
...of the series for Janney.
Now the Canadiens hit over the line. Nice check in the second. Using the body again. Here's Galley on Gilchrist. Handle it, however, and Strudlin comes down the right side. Rubbed up by Glenn Wesley. They paw at one another.
The hit by Wesley, a good one. Strudlin stays on his feet. Bang. Almost knocks Wesley's helmet off. And Strudlin does it so sneakily, he doesn't get caught. There, Strudlin tried to draw the penalty.
Matthew Schneider danced away from Neely. Comes over center. Now Janney and Savard are involved at center ice. Two of the most unlikely players in this game, Savard and Janney.
I don't know whether I should laugh or cry.
Oh, go ahead, try.
Oh, my. And Neely's tried to retain his composure, which he has done all through this series. They continue to jaw.
Talk to the Boston players, they'll tell you that Carbonneau is an antagonistic type of guy. Always yapping, always talking. Realistically, the penalty should be over. Now the clock is stopped. The penalty should be just, a cross-check from behind. Oh, what a miserable play. A little scuffle, and Lyle Oldline snapped the helmet back of one of the Bruins with a cross-check.
I think the original check, Jig, that started all this was Courtnall hitting Rico, and you're absolutely right. Oldline came in late, nailed from behind.
Galley and Courtnall are talking, so is Strudland and Duras.
Very similar to the ending of the last game.
Here we go at center ice.
Courtnall. Gary Galley ought to be careful with that bad leg, Jig.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make much sense to be fighting now or at any time if you want to really get into it. But here, Galley's coming back from the injury, and when you get into a fight, it can cause a problem. Savard is yapping at Janney at the penalty box. Savard was signaling about the visor. Janney wears the visor. Savard doesn't.
Here's what happened. Watch.
There was a high hit by Courtnall on Strico that started everything. And you're right, Jiggs. In from there. Oh, man, the old line never gets Strico up high.
And you know, with all of this, I wonder if they'll remember that the clock not ticked off. Player changes, some roster changes coming into the game, and it's worked. You see a hard hit thrown by Burridge, but he is bowled over. Here we go again.
Lazaro and Lefebvre finally got at one another. Lazaro hacked and slashed. Now Burridge is going at him. The original penalty was on Burridge for a hit on Cote, and Lazaro and Lefebvre have been at one another. Lazaro took a couple of pretty good chops with his hockey stick before he got the gloves. In fact, he never got the gloves off.
Interesting matchups here. To the credit of linesman Gerard Gauthier and Swede Knox, they got Lazaro away from the hot spot quickly, and now just separated Burridge.
The players have to be careful, too, regarding game misconducts. Game misconducts, if you accumulate them, suspensions become part of the playoff action. That's something players have to be very aware of and very careful of.
Strudlin and Hammond waltzing around. Started back of the net with Burridge's hit.
Now watch in front here. Watch Lazzaro's stick. He's got it up. There's a chop across the knee. He'll get another one in there, too, with a stick. Watch this. Oh, across the ankles. Finally, they go at one another, and Burridge will come flying in with a cross body block. There we go.
Weimer tying up Strudlin as Baldwin down to make the save. The puck skied up off the crossbar. Play called with 3 seconds and another scrum.
Couple of good saves by Moog, and then the puck went off the crossbar as Montreal challenged late. Just 3 seconds remaining.
If that was Andy Moog's favorite goal stick, he won't be using it Saturday night. It's broken. And the spirit of the Canadiens may have been broken. Oh, not before Cote put the fist into the face of High. Weimer circling. He'd like to get a hold of somebody. Corson talking with linesman Swede Knox. More penalties at 19:57 of the third period. The final score at the Boston Garden, the Bruins 4 and the Montreal Canadiens 1.